Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Therapeutic Brother on the Big Brown Couch. I'm your host, Eric Burns, licensed marriage and family therapist in the states of California, Nevada, and Texas, the Lone Star State. Hey, listen, thank you for all of you that have been reaching out and checking in on me. I haven't posted content in a while. My life has been going through transition. I recently relocated to Texas. I accepted a job I accepted another job in the state of Texas, and really excited about it. Really excited about it, and yeah, Texas ain't that bad. It's hot. It ain't that bad, and I continue to do my work in California and Nevada as I am still licensed in those states. So listen, I wanted to jump on real quick. I'm in between sessions today, so I wanted to jump on in my new kind of location, if you would. And I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about relationships and couples therapy. Now, remember, as always, this is not meant to take the place of individual therapy or for couples therapy. So this is just information only. This is the perspective, the clinical perspective of an African American mental health provider. So, if anything that I say triggers you, I hope that you have support. I hope that you have a community, a village that you can turn to. If anything that I say, causes you to have suicidal thoughts or feel like you want to harm yourself or others, please call the suicide hotline at 1-800-273-8255. It's in my notes. I don't have them on my glasses. But once again, 1-800-273-8255 or 1-800-273-TALK, TALK. So let's just dive right in, okay? I've had a number of people reaching out to me through TikTok, through text message, just asking about relationships. I have a number of young people that I have worked with over the course of the years that are now getting ready to, they're thinking about getting married. They're thinking about starting long-term committed relationships, as well as individuals who have been in long-term committed relationships reaching out to me. I don't know if this is the post-pandemic thing, post-COVID, where we were all isolated together and we really didn't have any place to go. And now that people are back out and mingling with the public and with having these social lives, I don't know what's going on. Then you look at certain media platforms, certain social media platforms, and there's so many videos about black men and black women seeming to be at war with one another when it comes to their relationships. So I just kind of wanted to just kind of talk about couples therapy, my perspective on it, my take on it. Obviously, I have a different perspective, and I'll talk a little bit about the two interventions the two schools of thought that I use when I'm with my couples, as well as, just the general, how I kind of work with couples. So usually, and when couples decide to work with me, one of the first questions I ask them, and sometimes I'll ask this during the consultation, because I kind of want to get a sense of the work that we are about to do. And the question that I ask all of my couples is, are we here to save this relationship, or are we here to break up? Yeah, that I know that might sound kind of harsh. Are we here to save this relationship, or are we here to break up? Now, you might be saying, Eric, that's kind of messed up. Why would you ask that question? Well, number one, it gives me a lot of information. And really, it kind of like smacks the couple right in the face, right? What are we here to do? If we're here to save the relationship, then I know I need to roll up my sleeves. I need to get down in your marriage garden with you. And the three of us are going to start pulling up these bad weeds that are clogging up our relationship garden, right? It tells me that both of you are in this and you want to work this out. The other reason is that sometimes people come to couples therapy because one of them's already checked out. One of them has one foot out the door and the other foot on a roller skate, and they're just ready to go. They're over it. They're so checked out. They're emotionally checked out. They're psychologically checked out. And they don't even like the person that they're with. So by asking that question, and I've had couples that have said, well, number one is, why would you ask that question? If we weren't here to work it out, we wouldn't be here. And then I've had other people say, well, now that you mention it, I am here to break up. I'm here to say what I need to say in a very safe environment, in an environment that I hope I can finally be heard, because I can't be heard when we're just talking together. So it gives me a lot of information. Are we here to save this relationship, or are we here to break up? Usually, I know if people are really there to save their relationship by the work that they do in between sessions, if that makes sense. The work that they do in between sessions, because that's when the therapy really starts. The therapy starts the minute our session ends, because now you have to apply the things that we've talked about. You have to reflect on the things that we've talked about, and you also have to do self-evaluation and self-assessment. So are we here to save the marriage, or are we here to break up? Are we here to save the relationship, or are we here to move forward separately? And couples therapy can be a great place to explore how to save the marriage and how do we move forward without each other in a very safe, healthy way. Another thing about couples therapy is you have to make sure that you choose the right therapist for the both of you. Okay. And what I mean by that is that you have to have a therapist that, number one, has experience with couples, right? Couples work is very hard. Couples work is very difficult. You're managing two different personalities, two different perspectives. And as a therapist, you have to, it has to be a balancing act, right? So making sure that the therapist that you both are thinking about going to has experience in couples therapy. Right. And you can ask them, how long have you been doing couples therapy? What type of results have you gotten, doing couples therapy? What is your approach to couples therapy? What is your theoretical background on couples therapy? What would you recommend to couples? Right. Some of the things that I talk about with my couples, some of the theoretical ideologies, I guess I could call it that. I'm not good at all this therapeutic lingo stuff. I just keep it 100, right? So there are two main perspectives that I use during my couple session. The first one is the Gottman Technique. John Gottman and his wife, Julie Gottman, I think her name is Julie. Dr. John Gottman, based out of the Northwest, has wonderful techniques, wonderful books on how to build better relationships, how to save marriages, how to even know if marriages are going to work before people even get together. For example, one experiment he did is he put couples in a house. It was kind of like the first real world, and he watched how the couples interacted with one another. And he was able to determine if those couples would have long-term success in a marriage or in a committed relationship with each other. So Dr. Gottman has done an amazing job. I feel I got a bunch of his books. I read them all the time. I refer back to him. One thing that I do like about Gottman is that he has these cards. And Dr. Gottman, if you see this video, just know that this therapist has benefited from your instruction and from your techniques and the information that you put out. One of the things that he has, it's called expressing needs. And sometimes when I'm working with couples, I realize that over the course of time, they forget how to express their needs to each other. And they start to take each other for granted. They start to take each other that, you're always going to be there. You're always going to be there. And they feel like they don't have to take care of the needs of each other. And Dr. Gottman has this great set of cards on expressing needs, great listening, the rituals of connection, opportunity exercises, salsa. Yeah, salsa card decks, mild, medium, and hot. And then he also has love maps, open-ended questions. So I just took out real quick, I just took out the couples, the expressing needs. And this, I'm just going to pick a couple of them out of this deck. You can see I got the deck. And these are just some of them. And it can always be a little bit difficult when we go to express our needs, right? And it's always good to be able to express our needs in a healthy, safe way, because it allows us to be vulnerable. It allows us to turn towards our partner, and our partner understands what our needs are, because we're not mind readers. I know I've been married twice, and one of the biggest issues that I had in both of my marriages were I'm not a mind reader. Tell me what you need. I can assume what you need, and then I might miss the mark. It's like throwing a dart blindfolded, right? You don't know what you're going to hit. So being able to express what you need, and not what you want, what you need, right? So for example, I just picked up a few of them. I need to cuddle before we go to sleep. All right. That's a good one. I need to cuddle before we go to sleep. And, sometimes people are going to sleep at all different times of the night. So if you're the person that needs to cuddle before you go to sleep, and you're one of those people that turn in early, right? It's like, okay, it's 9:30. I'm about to go to bed. I need you to come and hang out, cuddle with me a little bit before I go to bed. And likewise, if you're one of those people that is a night owl, right, and you need to cuddle before you go to sleep, and your partner is an early bird, you might want to kind of find that balance, right? Because you go to cuddle with your partner and she's in a dream, and it's about you, and you done made her mad in that dream. She ain't gonna want to cuddle with you, bruh. I need you to ask me about what's going on at work. Now, this is another great one, right? This is another great one. Sometimes we forget that our partner is working. We forget that they might have a stressful job or an asshole for a boss, right? Asking them, if they say, I need you to ask me about what's going on at work, that gives you an opportunity to connect with your partner. And I'm going to, just one more. I need you to initiate sex. All right. Yeah. Gottman don't play. Gottman don't play. I need you to initiate sex. And that's also a good one. This is what I need. I feel accepted by you. I feel sexy. I feel attractive when you initiate sex. Okay. So that's from John Gottman, Expressing Needs. Another type of therapy model that I look at is Dr. Sue Johnson. She has this great book called Hold Me Tight. And I have a copy of it. I haven't unpacked it yet. I probably should have, but I know kind of where it is. Dr. Sue Johnson talks about emotionally focused therapy, focusing on the emotions that are really going on beneath the feelings. So if you're feeling insecure, you might start an argument with your partner, and not telling them that you're feeling insecure. You want to start an argument so you can have a connection. And obviously you want to make sure that you are in touch with the emotions that kind of gets you there. Are you insecure? Are you frustrated? Are you feeling overwhelmed? Are you feeling like you're losing yourself? Right? These are all things that we have to be able to tell the person that we are in a relationship with. Now, it's true that people say you're responsible for your own happiness. I get that. And if you're healthy within yourself, you can be healthy with anybody. If you love yourself first, you can love anybody. And if we're in a committed relationship with someone through daily activities and day-to-day life, sometimes we miss opportunities to connect. So when you're feeling overwhelmed, you have to be able to express that. I am feeling overwhelmed right now. Because you come home and you're feeling overwhelmed, and then your partner's like, oh, well, yeah, we got to get little Johnny to soccer practice, and then we got to go pick up the dog from the vet. And can you leave me alone? I'm overwhelmed right now. And that can turn into a missed opportunity for a healthy connection, a healthy conversation. So Dr. Sue Johnson, Emotionally Focused Therapy, and Dr. John Gottman of the Gottman Institute. So those are just a couple of therapeutic approaches that I use for my couples, especially with my African American couples, where sometimes we, through cultural things, sometimes we get in our own way when it comes to our relationships between each other. So choosing the right therapist for the both of you, and kind of researching John Gottman, kind of researching Dr. Sue Johnson. Also, another individual, Dr. Gary Chapman. He has the 5 love languages, so that can be very, very, very effective in learning how you receive love and how you give love. Okay, so Dr. John Gottman, Dr. Sue Johnson, and Dr. Gary Chapman. You also want to know, what are the issues that really bring us to therapy? What are we really trying to do? Be specific. If it's, you're not listening to me, if you're not I don't feel safe. I feel insecure. Whatever those issues are, I'm struggling. You're triggering me. I'm having past trauma. Whatever that is, understand why you're there. Understand why you're there. Take notes before you go in, and also, very, very important, when you're going to go to couples therapy, I highly recommend that you also do your own individual therapy. Now, I'm not talking about barbershop therapy. I'm not talking about beauty shop therapy. I'm talking about getting with an individual, either a licensed individual or a state certified associate, and you want to get your own individual therapy. Now, I know that a lot of therapists, I know I, for one, in my practice, am cash only. I do work on a sliding scale. However, the rate is kind of what it is, and you're going to get a return on your investment. So for couples therapy, I'm not sure if insurances really cover couples therapy. However, I do know that for individual therapy, your health benefits might be able to refer you to an individual therapist where you might only have to pay your copay. So if you're going to attend couples therapy, really, really consider individual therapy as well. That way you can work on your past traumas. You can work on your relationship disappointments. You can, say the things that you might not feel comfortable saying in the couples therapy setting just yet. And your individual therapist can work with you to develop your voice around those things so you can feel empowered enough to share what it is that you need to share. So what are the issues that bring you to therapy as a couple? And then attending individual therapy can be a huge benefit as well. Getting back to, the therapist for you. One of the things that I tell my couples that are in consultation, hey, if you're here to work it out, I'm right there with you, because I believe in love. I believe in Black love. And I really believe that when two people are together and they're committed to one another, the entire community around them benefits. And what I mean by that is, when you're in a healthy relationship, and say it's a blended family and you're in a healthy relationship, well, your kids and your partner's kids will get a sense of security, will get a sense of safety, will get a sense of trust, right? The community, your neighborhood, when they see you guys walking with your hand, holding hands and walking the dog, they see togetherness, they see unity, they see a strength. Right. So we all, and even our families will benefit, even though family, people hate on us or whatever. However, it's like, what, man, I would like what they have, and it's worth the investment, to work it out if it can be worked out. Some of the helpful things that could help your therapist. Again, all of the above, right? If you know your love language, that's helpful. If you've researched Gottman, if you've researched, Dr. Sue Johnson, there's others as well. However, those are the two that I gravitate towards. So if you do your own research, if you have clear and specific goals that you have set for yourself for couples therapy, and if you have a willingness, if you're there to work it out, you have a willingness to do the work. There's a lot of different resources out there. You also want to make sure that if you are, listening to people or if you're following people, do your research on them. Find out if they're a licensed therapist. Find out what their background is. I know there's a lot of individuals that become relationship coaches, and no shade to them, right? No shade to relationship coaches. You want to make sure that the person that you're getting your information from is experienced, is licensed, and who has been in the trenches. And is there for your success and not, internet. I don't want to call it shenanigans, but internet, I don't know, whatever. So just make sure you do your research on the people that you choose to get your information from. And above all, you can Google helpful tips to save a relationship, healthy communication skills, knowing who you are, knowing what you love about yourself. All of those things can be very, very helpful. Understanding your past traumas, your relationship disappointments, all that stuff. So I hope this was helpful. Once again, my name is Eric Burns, licensed marriage and family therapist in the states of California, Nevada, and Texas. And I know I went a little bit over. So I do hope that it was beneficial and helpful. And, I believe in healthy relationships. And I really believe that we can all benefit when we are either a part of a healthy relationship or we witness healthy relationships on a regular basis. So again, Eric Burns, licensed marriage and family therapist. I love you all. Thank you for your time. Like, share, subscribe. Please subscribe. Please share these videos because I'm just here. I love the work that I do, and it is one of the callings that I just can't run from. So send in your suggestions on topics you'd like me to cover. I know next time I want to do something around depression because I've been getting a lot of feedback from individuals that are struggling with depression and depressive thoughts. So until next time, I love you all. Thanks again for listening. And remember, always, always be encouraged.